You are now listening to Random Ramblings with Rob. Yay! Yay! Yeah!
What up, everybody? This your boy B-Rob, and I'm back. Honestly and truly, I'm back. I just came back from New York, New Jersey, and I'm here with another edition of the Random Rounds with Rob podcast. First and foremost, I'd like to thank you, the listener, for coming back each and every week, or however you listen to podcasts. And if you're a new listener, I appreciate you taking out your time to give my show a try. And if anybody referred you to me, if you're in their vicinity, I want you to reach over and slap them on the buttocks with consent, though, because I don't want you to get in trouble. So, as per usual, I have a guest. I gave y'all a little quick spiel and whatnot on the last episode, to where I just got back from New York, as alluded before. I went to WrestleMania this past weekend, and I did not prep for that shit at all, because I was so focused on that shit and everything was so last minute, and I didn't even line up my guest for the rest of April. But this one just kind of fell into place. We set it up in, I think, fucking March. And it was just like, oh shit, I forgot I had something else going on previous to this. And then it was like, all right, we'll just do it another day. And then that day come around, I was like, oh shit, emergency. Got to push it on to another day. Goddamn, next week roll around, I can't do it this day. So it was always a whole bunch of different circumstances, and goddamn, WrestleMania popped up last minute, and I think now we're in a safe space. It was, we're here talking, and now it's just meant to be. My guest joining me, a fellow podcaster, a freaking entrepreneur, from what I understand, a musician. I say that with a question mark. No. My guest, famously known for, freaking being Mr. Johnny White Trash, but joining me now is Mr. Blain. How are you, sir?
I'm fantastic. How are you? I
am delightful. And I know you're always fantastic because you're Canadian.
Yes. That I promised I turned over a new leaf. I wouldn't just come on podcasts and trash America anymore.
No, I don't give a damn.
I know, nobody does.
Yeah. It's the thing, like, so I'm from Louisiana originally, but I just happen to live in Texas. And I kind of feel that way about America. I just like, I just live here. So say what the fuck you want. I mean, it's not going to bother me.
See, my problem is, and I kind of woke up one day and realized, I'm like, am I really judging America as a whole from what I see on Facebook? Maybe my opinion is tainted.
All right. Taint. Which part of Facebook are you looking at? Describe some of these parts to me that would, for you to look down upon and cast judgment.
Montana. I got some family in Montana.
And God damn it, this is what I need you to do for me. I have a personal goal, a personal mission of mine. I mean, it's just nonsensical as fuck. But since you bring up Montana, the mythical place that's the origin of some of my things that I need to happen, I am trying to get analytics for this podcast in each and every United State. Montana has eluded me thus far, and I need that in my queue. So if you know somebody, just tell them to go find my podcast, turn it on for a good minute. They don't even have to fucking listen to it. Just play it in goddamn Montana so I can have my shit and we be good.
I'll reach out to my contacts.
Yeah.
And see.
You wouldn't happen to nobody in Alaska or anything, would you?
I think I've got a cousin up there, but I haven't talked in.
That'll be an awkward conversation when they'll be like, Hey man, I haven't talked to you in a couple years, or, how you doing? But could you listen to this podcast for me real quick? That was the only reason I was really calling you.
Yeah. Hey, estranged cousin who doesn't talk to the family anymore. You
listen to podcasts, any?
Yeah. Just follow this link, please.
Yes. Don't even say anything. Just send them a direct link in a text. So when they press it, it'll just automatically play the episode and be like,
oh, do like the clickbaity message. Just be like, is this true? And then send them the link to the podcast.
Hey, shit, I'm going to start doing that.
Yeah, actually, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah. It would be like those, you speaking of Facebook, it would be like those damn things to where people post those Facebook stories, be like, I came home today and the motherfucker broke in my house and they stole all of my shit, but that's okay. You left your phone or whatever, and daggone, and they have a link and it's like, this is your shit or whatever, and you're present and it's something stupid. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Goddamn Facebook.
And everybody's like, man, I hate stuff like that. And I'm like, I'm so old that I remember downloading songs from LimeWire, and I was not quite Napster. Mm-hmm. I was avoiding the internet and trying to stick with BBSs, if you know what that is. If you don't, I don't want to explain it. I will sound even nerdier than normal.
Okay.
But yeah, no, like on LimeWire, you would download, I don't know what songs we listened to at the time, Linkin Park, Bleeding something, I don't know. Mm-hmm. And it would be like, this isn't a music video for Linkin Park. It's porn.
Ah, yeah, the disguises. But
that girl has a penis. Oh, this is gay porn. Oh,
you want to know how this come full circle? You talk about using a medium to find regular content, and you stumble upon hidden porn. Now is the reverse effect. If you go to Pornhub, you can find regular content that's labeled as porn.
Like how many I forget which ones, but like there's been certain video games like that's where the gameplay. I think No Man's Sky and like Fallout something. Maybe it was Fallout 4. It might have been 76. But like there's video game leaks and they happen on Pornhub. Like.
Yeah, it's just like nobody would really think to look at it. They're probably thinking about it now if they're listening to this, but
yeah.
Cause like, they would post, downloads for wrestling on there, like Raw and SmackDown, and they'll post, porn content titles based on the match or whatever. So it'd be like a 2-on-1 match. It'd be like, two Samoan slam, nerdy white guy or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. Cause you see, I remember looking for a couple of China's matches, mm-hmm. and they actually were porn.
She had a lot of those too.
Oh, I kind of miss China, but at the same time, and I mean, no disrespect, but like some people are like, wow, I didn't see that coming. I'm like, really?
Yeah, the writing was on the wall.
Yeah. I mean, like
in green neon spray paint.
Yeah, for sure. So now, did you get to, I'm in wrestling mode with you now.
Oh yeah. Let's go there.
And I don't even, I think I even missed the Royal Rumble. Like that's how far away from the storylines I was. Again, previously working 2 jobs, there was no times for things like wrestling, right?
Gotcha.
And, I mean, I was so busy, I had to miss the occasional hockey game, like,
oh man,
which is blasphemy.
Yeah. You're missing church now. So, I mean,
right. Exactly. Well, like when you said, when's good? And I gave you the schedule of the Toronto Maple Leafs in the playoffs saying, I'm busy these nights. Like, I felt like that was probably the most Canadian thing I've said in a long time.
Yes. And I understood. It was okay.
But no, oh shit, I forgot where I was going with all this. But yeah, so I'm very far behind. Mm-hmm. The packages were nice. So I watched the pre-show. I sat on my couch from, 3 p.m. to 10:30. So however long that is, damn near a full 8-hour shift. Mm-hmm. How long were you at MetLife Stadium?
All right. So local time there. We arrived in the parking lot at around maybe 2:00. And we slept in the car until it was time to line up to go into the stadium, which they opened up to the public about 3:45, almost 4:00. We got in promptly at 4:00, and then I went up to my seats, and then 5:00 the show started, the pre-show. Around 5:30, first match. All the pre-show matches started. And then basically from 5:00 to 12:30 midnight, we were down there.
Damn. Oh, in those real comfortable seats, probably.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad. Your comfort was masked by being cold.
Yeah, that's the other thing I find funny about these shows is I'm sitting there like football games. I'm like, okay, football is an outside sport. Why does it start in September?
I have no clue.
like the Super Bowl's in January, and like these stadiums are so big they couldn't put roofs on them. And then they're like, "Hey, want to come watch the show?" I'm like, "No."
But it was cold there, but like I've been colder than that, so I wasn't too bad. Oh,
you're probably surrounded by a bunch of body heat too, eh?
Yeah, that too. That wasn't too. Yeah, you're right about that. A lot of people just jumping up and down and shit. And this is another thing that I guess is just a common trope in professional wrestling and whatnot, or just I don't know what the fuck it is. All right, you go there, you pay for your seat in the arena. And sitting down on your ass watching the show, you can see everything fine. But something compels you to, whether it's an entrance theme, the first opening chord, or an awesome move that's being done, that you want to stand the fuck up and block the motherfucker view from behind you, forcing them to stand up to block the motherfucker view behind them, and so on and so forth until infinity and beyond. I never got it. I mean, you could be excited in your goddamn seat is what I'm saying. You can sit the fuck down.
Yeah.
But I mean,
no, I know. I mean, I'm the type of guy, I don't stand up for much.
Yeah, especially with my bad knees. I ain't trying to do all that shit.
Oh, yeah, no. And I got my short little stubby legs are just eclipsed by this beer gut that just, I stand up enough for a living. That's.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Now,
but at the same time, there was probably a few moments where I'd have been like, whoa, and I'd probably have been up jumping around too.
Yeah, it's kind of. So Kofi Kingston won, and I was sitting there like a fucking 7-year-old clutching the Kofi Kingston shirt that I just bought. And I'm sitting there holding it like a security blanket. I was like, he did it.
Yeah, you might have to explain this to me because I haven't watched for a while. Now, no disrespect to Kofi. I get it. Like, man's got talent. He has since the beginning. Mm-hmm. But all of a sudden, he's fighting Daniel Bryan for the belt. I'm like, wait a minute. I've missed something here. What the hell's going on with that?
Well, what had happened, there's a new cat called Mustafa Ali. And they called him up from 205, like, one of the lower brands. They called him up to the main roster, like out of the blue, pretty much. I mean, nobody would have thought in a million years that he would have been there in that position. But for what I understand, I could be totally wrong, but this is what I've heard and kind of understand about what was going on. Daniel Bryan was the current champion, and he wanted to work with new people, so he personally requested Mustafa Ali to be pulled up so he can, have a couple matches with him.
And I think I recognize the name.
Yeah. So he came up, had some awesome matches with the champ, pinned the champ, and, a couple other notable characters on SmackDown. So from there, the rocket ship was attached to this man's back to do great things. He was supposed to be in the Elimination Chamber, and he was supposed to have some other opportunities, maybe even a title shot. But he got injured. So in his place, they put Kofi Kingston, and he fucking showed the hell out and showed why he was like a good performer. And then everybody just got behind him and they didn't stop. So that's how he wound up in the position he wound up in. So if Mustafa wouldn't have got hurt, I don't think Kofi would have been there. And
that is just almost every wrestling story you read about,
Exactly.
Somebody got hurt, somebody's going in, like Like all the way back to Triple H got in trouble, so now Stone Cold's going to win King of the Ring. Like, just all the way back to.
Yep.
I just think it's hilarious.
In
a way.
Yeah, I don't believe in coincidences. I mean, shit happens for a reason. I mean, good and bad. To teach you a lesson, or damn, put you in a position to be something greater. And that's just what the hell happened. I mean, who would have thought in however many million years that at this day, at this time, he would have got hurt or something like that, which just sucks. But to put him in that position to be where he is now.
Speaking of hurt, I noticed a few people weren't there. Now, I was just going to ask you about. I know. I don't know how this is going to be for everybody else because they probably watch wrestling.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I go up and down, right?
Yes.
Generally, I watch it when it's not hockey season, to be honest. Anyway.
Yeah.
So Sami Zayn came back the next night. I get that.
Yeah.
Where was Owens?
He was on SmackDown the following night.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Was he come back from an injury or?
Yeah, they both were hurt. Kevin Owens had.
Okay.
Sami Zayn had double shoulder surgery, and which is weird because they're friends. So Kevin Owens had double knee surgery.
Wow.
Ain't that some shit?
Yeah. Okay. So they're back.
You my buddy, so I'm gonna have doubles too.
Yeah, makes sense. What about Bray Wyatt?
He is fine, but to speak of fine, he got a girl pregnant, JoJo, the ring announcer. Fine little chocolate thing. So he been away kind of handling all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
But he's fine, and he's been teasing
JoJo and Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, I know, weird, huh? It's like
and I'm not talking about like the one obvious difference between the two of them. I'm talking about the subtleties. Like, I don't know how much of a character Bray Wyatt is, but he does not seem like the type of guy who would attract a girl that seems like her.
I don't know. I mean, he got that cult leader vibe with him, man. He probably talked her smooth into some shit,
Yeah, I could see it. See it. But he seems like he goes to, what's it called? Salvation Army, Goodwill, used clothing stores.
Well,
right?
To put it the way my wife said, the way, when she found out about it, she's like, how could she be with him? He looked like he stank.
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
Hey, man.
Like he does. He seems like the type of guy who's just not into the same things.
Yeah.
And I'm just judging appearances. Who knows? Maybe they both like sitting around in sweatpants and binge watching Game of Thrones. Maybe I'm totally off base.
Yeah. Love has no bounds.
Maybe he likes ordering pizza and she just has the chicken wings because they're more health conscious. Like, I could see stuff like this.
Yeah. But from what I understand, from what the rumors are or whatever, SmackDown last night, they just had a very odd vignette. It was a box in a black room, and it was clouds of smoke coming up from around it. And then the top opened up, and a gnarly looking fucking vulture buzzard thing,
Right. That was on Raw.
Yeah, Raw. So, and then it was, I guess, what was assumed to be Bray Wyatt laughing in the background while this puppet thingy was doing whatever the fuck. So he might be coming back soon.
See, the one, and I try not to complain about wrestling because enough people complain about wrestling.
Of course.
But the one problem I have with WrestleMania, at least the last few, is it's like, like you got all these guys, like, everybody who's kind of come up, the big ones over the last 10 years, the top 20 of them, you probably know them all by name too. But it's like you got all them, and then it seems like half of them make it to the show to wrestle people who've retired.
Yeah, weird, right?
Like I mean, no disrespect to Triple H, but bye.
Yeah.
It was nice to see The Undertaker on Raw, but I watched him lose to Brock Lesnar.
No. That man.
The only thing
that man appeared on my screen, and you can ask my wife. I cuss the fuck out. I was like, this motherfucker. And she's like, what's wrong? I was like, he's here.
Yeah.
She's like, so? He needs to be the fuck at home, not here.
I really, once Brock Lesnar beat him, I really only had one storyline I was interested in, and that was, you know, I didn't want to see, I wanted Brock Lesnar to be his only loss at WrestleMania, and his career ends with, or not ends with, but he avenges his loss and everybody. But then the whole Roman thing started, and then, I don't know, I thought he was sick. And all of a sudden I turned on and he was there. And so I'm kind of confused again.
Well, I mean, I think when was,
well, I mean, I get that he's in remission. I've seen the promos, but I don't know how long he was gone for or.
Yeah. A couple months.
Couple of months.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, good, right?
I mean,
like,
not a couple as in like 2, but I mean, it was a little more than that, but he hadn't been really gone that long. He wasn't gone enough for me to miss him. You know, wrestling wise, at least. I get that. Like, I used to be the biggest John Cena hater. I bought 2 John Cena shirts just because I thought it was funny. Then I kept making friends in the bathroom when I'd wear them to a certain bar, so I had to stop. Yeah.
I'm not lying. Like, if I went to, it's called the Silver Buckle. If I went there wearing a John Cena shirt and went to the bathroom, somebody started talking to me about it.
Oh, no.
And then you try to explain to them, like, I don't like John Cena. I bought this shirt to be ironic. It's funny. And then nobody laughs at the joke, and you're starting to think that you're not funny.
Yeah. Oh, man.
But my whole point was Cena. Yeah. But when he comes on now, I'm just like, Thugonomics. Yeah, bro.
Oh, yeah. Now,
like a schmuck.
Now let's talk about ironic disrespect. All right. Kurt Angle. Every time this motherfucking music hit, he come out, crowd screaming, "You suck." And to me, that pisses me off to high fucking hell because he doesn't suck. You know, I'm just
like, oh, I get it.
And I'm just like, in any iteration of telling somebody you suck, when is that ever a fucking compliment?
But at the same time, it's taken on this life of it. Like, I remember, what's their Ride Along on the network there. And I forget, Bailey and Sasha Banks were talking. I can't remember which one, but one of them's like, why do they chant "you suck"? And then the other one just started laughing like, is that a mom joke? Like, you don't get it? Like, what's going on? And I'm sitting there going, I leaned over my wife. I'm like, I don't get it. Should I?
And that's what I'm saying, the same goddamn thing. I mean, it stemmed from, way back when it was a storyline. Somebody said he sucked and it just fucking stuck because he was a heel. He was a bad guy. So it made sense. But for it to stay that goddamn long. And then
I know it's like he is like a white hot baby face and it's still the chant, you know?
Yeah. And then, to talk about John Cena and whatever, I mean, he was like on top and then he was on top for so long that he became stagnant. And that's where you get the, let's go Cena sucks. And, singing with his tune, John Cena sucks. But he's really turned around into something totally different altogether. I'm just like you. I hated him for a while, but I've really come around on him and whatnot.
Right.
Toward the end.
And to be fair, like, you're a wrestling fan long enough. Like I'm just trying to explain to people who don't know, but it's like when I say I hate John Cena, it is kind of a compliment because it's like, I don't like if I see John Cena at the bar, I'm like, hey man, can I buy you a beer? I love booing you. You do awesome. And I know, like, if you don't watch wrestling, you don't get it, but it was like, yes, I liked booing him. And then everybody's like, oh, he should flip heel. And I'm like, why?
Yeah.
And, like everywhere he goes is like half boo, half cheer. And that just turns into a game and it's fun. But
yeah,
but no, I like him even more as a dude, the more I see about him. But then every now and then I see him on the reality TV show and I'm just like, I don't know if I like him. Like, that can't be really him.
Yeah. And then what's funny is just like people sometimes don't understand the subtlety of a character. And he has done heelish shit, in his like quote unquote babyface phase of his career. So, I mean, I don't understand why people talking about, we never seen him heal. I mean, previous to, not excluding previous to, you know, Dr. Thugonomics, all that other bullshit, but like he's done heel shit currently within the past, 5-10 years.
Yeah. And I think it's kind of the way the viewership in general has changed, the way almost society's changed in a bit. Like, the majority of people who watch it, their mind is made up about Cena, and it's made up about Cena, whatever he does, you know?
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to get too political or nothing, but, you know, and I mean, it is though. It's wrestling. It's hockey. It's everybody has an opinion, you know, from a clickbait headline, and that's just the way it is. I'm guilty too. I'm not above anybody. I do it all the time, but. So Cena going heel, I don't think he needed to. But I love when he teases on it. Like when he come out of WrestleMania, I forget what he said, but he's something like, you know, John Cena's going heel. I'm like, you know what I actually want to see?
Do tell.
Is Shaw and Hobbs, okay? Mm-hmm. I want that movie series to go on long enough or create an entire different series. I don't care, but I want to see one of the Fast and Furious movies. You know, The Rock is the baby face. He's the good guy. He's the star of the series. Sorry, Vin. You had your chance. You fucked it up. And I love this series. Anyway, I want John Cena to be like the ultimate fucking like world leader bad guy in a Fast and Furious style movie.
You know, we kind of got a subtle glimpse of that in the Bumblebee movie.
Huh?
John Cena was in the Bumblebee movie. Transformers.
Oh, Bumblebee. Oh, fuck. I'm like sitting there going like, I know I watch space documentaries sometime, but what the fuck is Bumblebee? And I was thinking like, was that the Jerry Seinfeld cartoon? Like I was confused, but okay. Bumblebee. I don't remember if I watched that one or not.
You probably did.
Does it have Mark Wahlberg?
No. That's how.
Okay.
That's how I know you didn't watch it.
I saw part of one that had Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
After Shia LaBeouf went crazy.
Yeah, it's two of them with Mark Wahlberg in it.
Yeah, we got Transformer here.
Yeah. And you know what? I've heard many people impersonate him during that movie, and that's the same exact line they always say.
Oh my God, that's awesome. Because I used to listen to this podcast called, it was the Kind of Funny Guys. I can't remember, but Nick Scarpino, he would do this Mark Wahlberg impression, and it literally changed the way I looked at Mark Wahlberg. Because every line was just like, we got to just, and we just, and he would just do it like that. And then I'd watch a Mark Wahlberg movie, and I'm like, oh shit, no, he actually does that.
Yeah, especially like in Daddy's Home or whatever.
Oh shit. I haven't seen the second one. I don't watch movies much anymore because the theater in town sucks. Mm-hmm. And I just keep saying, I'm like, I'll wait for it to hit Netflix. And then it hits Netflix. I'm like, I guess I don't want to see it.
Yeah. And then also John Cena's in that movie.
Yeah. Well, I might want to see that.
Yeah. And then to even just funny things in my mind. John Cena was in a movie called Trainwreck, and somebody made the joke to him that he looks like Mark Wahlberg. And he's like, Mark Wahlberg? He's like, I look like I ate Mark Wahlberg. And then now they wind up being in a movie together many moons later.
I like that. Well, they're both Boston kids too, aren't they?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, one of them seemed to embrace the accent a little more than the other.
Yeah, just a little bit, not a tad. I mean, sometimes I can barely tell them apart.
Yeah.
But let's bring it back a little bit. When did you discover podcasting?
Podcasts?
Yes.
The first podcast I remember listening to was Jay and Silent Bob Get Old.
Of course.
Like it was, and I can't remember how I heard of it. Mm-hmm. But I heard of it and I was like, okay, I'll give this a try. And then I was like, it's just two old friends telling stories about the past. Cause like I was like, I signed on like first 6-7 episodes is when I found that one. Just a time frame of, and then I just sat there and go, I have old friends. I have stories. I can do that. Like that's the way podcasting went in my brain, and did not go well at first. But I'm actually working on getting kind of my entire persona podcast career together, because it got pulled off fucking iTunes again. So I'm going to run it through Anchor and just re-upload every fucking episode. I think there's like 500 of them. So it's like, trying to get, because I kept coming up with this idea of like, you know what I need? Like if I had found the Joe Rogan podcast before I found Kevin Smith, I would have just done a show and stuck with it. Mm-hmm. But I found the Kevin Smith network. So I was going to do all the different shows.
Yeah.
And then finally towards the end, I just kind of tapered off and I did the Johnny White trash thing for a while. And then I'm basically doing the same thing, just a little more sporadic and not as a character.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how much of a character it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it just wound up being, slowly you seeping back into the forefront.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know I told you I'm having a drink, but the thing I noticed was Johnny White Trash was kind of a drunk and I'm kind of not. And like, I don't know, just everything in the last kind of couple of years, my whole perspective shifted. And now that I know it sounds hokey, but like now that I consider myself on the path to enlightenment, because I bought a bunch of shit and I wasn't happy, Rob. So apparently money was not what was missing in my life. Yeah, I know, right?
That's kind of deep.
Yeah. So I left my job. I went to a better job, didn't pay as much, but I'm much happier and I get to do shit I like. And I work with people I like. So, and then since then it's just kind of been, I listen to a lot of Gary Vee, which doesn't help because sometimes he's just like, yeah, man, just like, if you want to be happy, just like change your bills. Like who gives a fuck? Like nobody's going to be impressed by your shit. Like no matter how much shit you have, nobody's going to be impressed because they don't like you anyway. Cause like if you're less successful than them, they're, just going to like kick the shit out of you because they don't care. If you're more successful than them, they're going to be jealous. So just do you. And I'm like, oh, fuck, that's terrible advice because it's working. I'm doing me. That's why I started. I don't know if I want to say singing again, but I started making music again just to see. Mm-hmm. Just to see if I had anything to say. Like I know I'm just doing like mixtape style beats. So I'm not putting a lot of effort in production. I just want to see if I can still write lyrics like I used to,
Yeah. Okay. I'm down with that. I sampled a little bit of it today when I was just looking through your stuff. Yeah. This is what I'll tell you. I won't sit here and tell you that your stuff is trash. Johnny White Trash.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, but you are doing more than I am. So for me to sit there and critique you about a thing that I am not doing or actively pursuing would be very assholeless of me. So I won't do that.
No, and I appreciate that. And my goal right now is not the craft. Like it used to be like whether like back when I was in bands or back when I was doing podcasts, like it was like the craft. Like I need to edit this properly. I need the best microphones. I need this. My current goal is more the endurance contest of it now, where it's like if you stop doing this, you're just going to be bitchy because you hate not being creative. But, so like I'm trying to eliminate excuses for lack of a better term where it's like, exactly. Man, I didn't record today. It's because blah, blah, blah. Well, no, it's because you didn't fucking do it. Like,
yeah.
Right.
And I totally understand that.
And so once that started happening where it was like, if you didn't do a thing you said you wanted to do, it was either because you didn't want to do it or you're just fucking lazy. Yeah. And I didn't even really change my patterns as much as I just like I'm like, okay, it's not anybody else's fault. I had the whole night to myself. I didn't create anything. That's my fault. Whatever, you know?
Yeah. I've been in that situation many a times to where it's just like, man, I'm gonna get off work. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. And sometimes I even, you know, if it's something on the computer I want to do, I want to work on a design on the iPad or whatever it is, I'll pull the thing out. I kind of fiddle with it. Then I wind up kind of regressing into my Instagram feed, and then I'm on Twitter, and then I'm just like, fuck it. I'll do it tomorrow. Yeah. And even that worked for me for a bit because, I used to be a night owl, and I think it used to be like, it wasn't that I was a night owl. I just hated life and was stressed, so I couldn't sleep at night. And then when I, kind of turned a corner, now I sleep, but I started getting up like I don't work till 8 and I usually get out of bed at 5. That was when I would, when you say you're going to do it tomorrow, for me, that meant, brew a coffee at 5. By 5:15, we hit the ground running. Yeah.
And that worked for a while, but then now my wife gets up early with me and we do our little vlog in the morning, which is another thing where it's like, how do you promote this? I'm like, I don't. As long as we keep, I like starting my day that way. That's all I need, right?
Yeah. The routine of the thing.
Yeah. Well, and especially because like when I was working, both jobs, I wouldn't see her till 9, 10, 11, midnight, right?
Yeah.
And so spending the morning having a decent chat that was just the two of us, that was better than anything else, right?
Yeah. Now, how did that even come about for you? I mean, you kind of said he was kind of working heavy and you was barely seeing her or whatever. Was that the motivation to do your blog together or?
Kind of. Cause we went through a rough patch and we were, we fixed it. And so we're coming back, and it was one of those things that we always talked about, and we recorded some stuff like this, that. It was supposed to be like a vlog, where it's like, oh, we're going to go somewhere on the weekend and release a vlog every Tuesday. And that just, it was fun hanging out, but I don't like recording in public.
Yeah.
I really don't. And so it was just that thing where it was like, well, I'm working on stuff in the morning anyway. Like, why don't you get up for work a little early and we'll just do like a morning show. I call it Wake Up Grumpy because she's grumpy when she wakes up, Yeah. And almost anything I do creatively, it kind of has that kind of, I don't want to say I don't care if people listen because, you get comments and likes and you feel good, right? Mm-hmm. It does feel nice to know that your art is appreciated, but now it's the ability to just sit there and just create.
Yeah.
And, like if I ramble for like an hour straight, I don't need to edit that shit up because that's what I wanted to do. Sometimes I have something in my head, and if I ramble for an hour straight, by the end of that hour, I know what to do about the thing or whatever, And so, I don't like video editing as much as I used to. I really don't.
I really don't like it at all.
Like I use a program called Power Director. And it's because of all the programs I've used, it has the fastest render times.
Yeah. No one man should have all that power.
Right. Yeah. What about you? How long have you been doing this?
Just about 3 years, a little over 3 years now.
Right on. Same show the whole time?
Correct. I mean, well, I kind of flayed off and started a wrestling podcast as well, probably.
Right.
But the same one the whole time.
That's impressive. I don't think I had a show that lasted for 3 years. Maybe the Johnny White Trash show, but even that I branched off in the middle of it to try and do other shows. I wish I would have done what you did. Just start a show, call it something, and just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Because, who cares if it changes format entirely? Like, my very first podcast was called Drinking with Myself. Mm-hmm. Who cares if I sobered up and brought in guests? That would make it even funnier.
Yeah. I kind of see the concept behind that because I listened to another podcast called The Cult 45 podcast, and it's a cult, not like a gun or a drink. But one of the hosts on there
okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, one of the hosts on there used to drink, and now he doesn't drink anymore. But like when he was drinking, a part of the show was like whenever they would do the opening, he's like, this show is powered by, and they would say what they was drinking on. But since he don't drink anymore, that bit is still in the show. So he'd be like Mountain Dew or some crazy shit like that.
Yeah, sorry, but somebody's making noise in my house. I hope you can't hear it.
Nope.
Okay, we're good. I've had my microphone muted off and on throughout this whole thing because the dogs would get excited or this or that. But the problem is they distract me, and I don't know what the last thing you said was. I was trying to fake my way through it, but I can't remember.
What kind of puppy dogs you get?
I got a couple little chihuahuas.
Oh, man.
Chihuahua mutts.
So
mom was Jack Russell.
Oh, man.
Chihuahua cross. And then their dad was a purebred long-haired Chihuahua.
That's kind of hyper, ain't it?
And this is why I can't be Johnny White Trash anymore.
Because of them?
Yeah, I have to. There's a bunch of things I do now that every now and then, like, my wife looks at me and I'm just like, this is why I can't be Johnny White Trash anymore. Like, we had an argument about bottled water the other day because she bought the wrong ones.
Oh, okay. So
yeah, and she's like, it's bottled water. I'm like, but Dasani tastes like toilet water. She's like, how do you know what toilet water tastes like? And she's like, do you really have opinion on which bottled water is better? I'm like, and this is why I can't be Johnny White Trash anymore.
Yeah, it kind of threw me off. Goddamn bottled water. Let me get my wits about me. Oh, shit.
Just saying, San Pellegrino's number one. That's all there is to it.
Okay. I'm going to have to, I drink out the tap. I lied. I don't. I'd be dead right now. We wouldn't be doing this podcast if I did.
I used to just drink out of the tap, but the one town I lived in, like there's Medicine Hat where I lived, and there's Radcliffe next to it. Their water, I lived there for a few years, and their water always like smelled like, you know, like when you wash potatoes, that water?
Yes.
It would smell like somebody washed potatoes with it. So I stopped using tap water at that point, and then when I moved to where there's cleaner tap water, I just didn't care.
The tap water thing, I guess, I don't even remember when I stopped drinking it. Cause like, I met my wife in 2008 and she only drinks bottled water. So I just kind of fell into that. You know, she only had bottled water, so I would drink the bottled water. I wouldn't just go to the tap. I mean, she had a whole thing full of bottled water. I just drink that. And, and just over time, that's what it is now. I don't drink no tap water no more. I just drink strictly bottled water.
Well, plus, I don't know about down there, but like here, like a 24 pack of bottles at like Walmart or whatever is like $3.
Yeah, same thing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's like, why wouldn't I just go grab 24 bottles for $3 and move on with my life?
Yeah. I would just go buy the case. I bring 2 home. I keep one in truck and I bring it to work. So I have water always at work. I wouldn't have to bring them from home.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hydrate, people.
Speaking of Walmart, you seem to go there a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Just a tad bit. I'm just matter of fact, when I went to New York and New Jersey this weekend, I made it my mission to find me some Walmarts to go to. I went to 2 of them.
Oh, I thought that was great. I did. I enjoyed your videos over the weekend.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I honestly think what you do on Instagram is the way Instagram should be done. I'm trying to think of a way to rip you off that's not too outright, you know?
Just do it. If you do it, just do it and tag me in it. That's
if
all you gotta do.
somebody calls me out, I'll just be like, Rob says, okay.
Yeah.
Hater.
There we go. You got audio proof of it. I won't edit it out.
There we go.
Just tag me in it. That's all you got to do.
Yeah. No, because I mean, it is like
little 1 minute videos. There's times where that's just what I want to do, is just sit there and flick through little 1 minute, 30-second videos, few memes here and there, and away you go.
Yeah. Cause like, I feel like out of all the apps I use, Instagram is my jam. And like, I beg you to anybody that you follow on Instagram, just go through your freaking follow list and see how many posts they got. I can guarantee you they don't have as many as me. I have damn near 6,000 posts.
Nice. I don't even know what I got, because like this was supposed to basically be a hot sauce thing, but I'm like, well, I'm not that good at social media apparently. I used to be. Yeah, now I have 17 posts.
Yeah, now like let's even get into that, because like I know about you, just peeking through the veil of social media and whatnot. And, I see your videos here and there. I see a post on Twitter, a post on Instagram and whatnot. And I can remember seeing, it was just a transition for me. I was like, I knew you as Johnny White Trash, and I would see posts about it, you and your distinct voice and whatnot. And I'd be like, hey, that's that guy. He got another video up. And then, slowly those videos will go away. And then I start seeing the hot sauce stuff emerge, and just like, okay, now he doing hot sauce now. And then, then the music thing starting to come back around. So I'm like, cool. But the thing about the hot sauce, my wife is a avid connoisseur of the hot sauces. It's just like, I feel like there is no hot sauce. You probably don't even try to do that purposely, but like there is no hot sauce that I can find that is hot enough to like burn her out. It's just like, she'll taste a hot sauce and everybody's like, oh shit, my lungs, I'm dying. And she'd be like, she's like, that shit ain't even hot. What's wrong with y'all? And I don't understand it. It's like like the common thing with me is the question I ask her all the time when we eating: would you like some food with your hot sauce? So
nice. I get it. Like see, my weird thing is like when I'm going for the hots, I want one step above what I can handle that day. Cause when like your skin's red and you're sweating and you're crying, but you can't touch your face cause you've got chicken wing sauce all over you. And like, you just have to sit there and be a mess in the middle of Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah.
I fucking love that.
See, and like for me, I don't know what it is. I like it to taste, just a little,
for sure,
little dab here and there, give it a little flavor and whatnot, not drowning it, trying to, it's like she waterboarding her goddamn food. With hot sauce. But,
the problem with hot sauce is like the really stupid hot ones are synthetic, like synthetic. And when you talk about flavor, that comes from those sauces where it's like, no, we just used, peppers, salt, and vinegar and some variation of that. Like that's mostly what hot sauce is, right?
Yeah.
And it's like the one I want to try so bad is the Last Dab. The Hot Ones signature sauce that they use on their show there. I'm just like, oh, I want to try it so bad, but shit ain't cheap at all.
Yeah, you're paying all that money to burn your insides. I don't get it.
Oh no, I'm cool with that. Well, see, what I like about this one though is it's a pepper sauce, right? Like it's not like Blair's Megadeth or some of the Magnum 357 stuff, I think too, where it's like we're putting in like this like capsaicin fucking extract, right?
Yeah.
And with their sauce being like 2 million Scovilles plus, and it's all just, your peppers, vinegar, and, some spices. I'm like, I gotta try this. I gotta try this.
Yeah. Cause like my wife is actively, you seen everybody doing that freaking one hot chip challenge or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah. My wife is actively looking for this thing. She wants to eat the shit out of it.
So do I.
And then, they got some hot noodles as well, whatever. We've been riding around going to different Asian markets trying to find these shits.
The Korean noodles. Yeah. I got them on Amazon. They're hotter than they're pretty warm, but they're not insane hot. Like, trying to think of what I've had. Like they're no Blair's Megadeth or something like that, right?
Okay.
But they're, the flavor. Like, you talk about heat with flavor, those have heat with flavor. Oh, so good.
Word. Like, it doesn't matter the freaking level of hot a hot sauce is. I sweat regardless, and I don't understand why. Yeah. It's just like, I had sriracha, and my fucking forehead beating up, and I don't fucking know why. You know, I had Texas Pete, same thing. I was just like, anything with spice that's vaguely hot, I start sweating. That's how you can know if it's some hot sauce or some spicy shit around. I fucking start sweating. That's my spider sense.
Nice. I've noticed that with myself with, I mean, like, I get the meat sweats like everybody else does, but I also just get like the flat out, like, carb sweats. It's like, I'm going to eat like a shitload of garlic bread or something. I will start sweating off of that. So then when you like take something like a pizza, and then you put the super hot sauce on it, so you're sweating from the pizza. You're sweating from like I sweat when I eat. I'm gross.
I sweat when I eat. I eat when I sweat. It's a vicious cycle.
Oh, except for vegetables. Like, when I eat vegetables, then I don't sweat.
I just chew on those angrily. I'm like,
yeah. Oh, I know. I mean, I try to eat healthy, but I find probably the healthiest thing I eat is when we do like chicken fajitas, because we're just literally like, we're doing our own chicken, you know, some peppers, some onions, put it on a shell with some hot sauce. And my hot sauce is like, you know, as few ingredients as possible, so there's no preservatives or shit in that. Yeah. And just like, I don't know, man. I hate to be that old guy, but I'm at the point where it's like, preservatives fuck me up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can always tell the difference between like a basic home cooked meal and a fucking fast food cuisine and whatnot. Cause I know, like, I've been eating nothing but food from at home. We cook it and prepare it ourselves or whatever. But every now and then we'll go out and get a burger, and I can tell the difference. Like, my body tells the difference. Cause as soon as I take that first couple of bites, it's just like, I'm already kind of full. And then by the time I finish the burger, it's like, oh, I need to go take a seat.
Yeah. The other weird thing I found, like I have a strange thing with McDonald's where I eat there sometimes more than I should. And it's funny because I almost think in certain ways, I know it sounds cheesy. I haven't said it out loud yet, so this is the first time. It kind of replaced my alcoholism. Like, when it was like, I gotta get fucking wasted tonight. Now, without thinking about it, now I'm like, man, I need like 3 McDoubles. That's the only thing that's gonna get me through tonight. And I'm like, no, I'm trading one half for another.
Oh yeah, man. I can't even tell you the last time I had some McDonald's. I mean,
don't do it.
Yeah, I know. I mean, this is like, it's been a big staple in my younger years, my childhood and whatnot. And now it's just like, it's a clutch thing or whatever. Oh shit, I forgot to take something to thaw out the refrigerator. What do you want to eat? McDonald's. Fuck. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. And you do it too. And you try and feel good about it. Like, do you know that, like, down there, is there a McDonald's app too? Yes. Like a curbside app? Oh, like, isn't that just like you admitting you fucking give up?
Yeah, shit, they got the touch screen in there and everything. You don't even have to look a person in the eye.
No, the touch screen I understand, because, you know, whatever, like, that's still in the restaurant. But like, to download the app onto your phone so that you can drive up, not wait in the drive-thru, have them bring your food to you, and then you get bonus points. I'm like, dude.
You know
what? Stop. You're hurting yourself.
And then, you know what I always thought was bizarre? You know, they got these apps like DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats, all that stuff, to where you can summon food to your location. Yep. It weirds me the fuck out that people would get on that app and they would order McDonald's. And I'm just like,
oh God, let me tell you, because that was my second job, was one of those apps, right?
Yeah.
And then the ever since Christmas, the pay has just kind of been up and down. And it's like, I'm not working a second job because I want to. I'm working it for money. And if the money's not going to be X amount a week, it's not really worth not being home with my family, you know?
I get it.
And other things, of course. But so that's where I'm at with that. But like some of the orders I've picked up, man.
Have you ever just got desserts? Like you just wanted a McFlurry or some shit?
Okay, so one end of town is Ross Glen, that neighborhood. The other end of town, out of town, is Redcliffe, which I mentioned earlier, right? That is a good 20-minute drive taking the highway at 80 kilometers an hour, 50 miles, or, the whole way pretty much. Somebody bought a milkshake from a place in Redcliffe and had me deliver it to Ross Glen. The delivery fee was not much. It was only like $4 or $5. Like that's the delivery fee, right? There was a $10 tip. No, that's right. It was 5 cents because I made $15. That's what it was. $15 in my pocket for bringing one milkshake from a truck stop to a guy in Ross Glen. Here's the funniest thing. The guy in Ross Glen wearing a fucking Dairy Queen shirt. There's literally like 3 Dairy Queens in between.
he was at the source at one point.
Right?
I don't know. It's just like that thing though. It's just like you have people that work in fast food, they work at McDonald's, Burger King, whatever, and they work there all the time. They're around that food all the time. They just want something other than what they always around. For sure. Well, not just that, but I think if you like worked at McDonald's especially, the rest of them maybe not, but McDonald's seems like the one where you would just absorb food into you through your pores. Through osmosis.
Yeah, yes. Like it is like McDonald's is like Bill Burr does that in his last stand-up special. He talks about like you go to McDonald's, you want to be healthy, but fuck it, you're just going to go once and then you wake up the next day. It's like, okay, I'm going to go to the gym. Dude, just get an Egg McMuffin. I don't want an Egg McMuffin. And then next thing you know, you find yourself at McDonald's getting an Egg McMuffin the next day. I don't know what they put in that shit, but it happens to me.
I get on a chicken nugget binge every now and then.
Luckily, the chicken nugget.
Wicked.
Yeah, I ain't about that nugget life, okay? That's just, and I don't know why I should be, but the McNugget, but this is probably why I'm not a nugget guy, because man, I love their filet of fish, and I think I'm alone on that one.
It's all right. I have a feeling, a taste for it every now and then,
Oh, dude, the coolest thing. Like for a while, McDonald's was selling 3 sauces in bottles. Oh, it was amazing. I had like a bottle of Big Mac sauce, a bottle of McChicken sauce, aka mayo, and a bottle of filet of fish sauce. Man, fish sticks never tasted so good.
They had the goddamn Taco Bell do that now. They sell all their different sauces in the grocery store.
I don't think I've ever been to a Taco Bell.
What?
Yeah, they're just not that common in my area of the world.
Oh, okay. Well, I can understand that now. I thought it would just be by choice. Because like what you were saying McDonald's was or is to you is how Taco Bell is to me.
I understand. I understand what a Taco Bell is now. Like we got Taco Time.
But
I don't know if that's Canadian only or not.
But do you make time for tacos?
I do. In fact, as soon as we're done this, I'm going to go downstairs and eat tacos.
Do we need to wrap it up then?
No, I'm cool. It's just funny that we come on tacos and then that's part of my life.
Well, I preferably not to come on tacos, so. Sorry, Dad.
You overloaded me. You gave me too many different directions to go, and I couldn't spit out a line.
I know. You're welcome. I kind of I felt you fizzling up there in your head or whatever. Now I just couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah, no, for real.
Yeah. But damn. the hot sauce. Let's kind of wrangle back down to that or whatever. I mean,
yeah.
What made you want to pursue that or whatever? Is it something that you always done, or I mean, how did you come upon it?
No, it's relatively new. I kept saying to somebody that I wanted to buy a juicer one day, and they're like, "Why?" I'm like, "So I can make my own hot sauce." Somebody's like, "You don't need a juicer for that." And I'm like, "Really? Maybe I should look at how to make it." Mm-hmm. So then I started making it and enjoying it, and then everybody was enjoying what I made, and somebody's like, "Man, you should take that to the farmer's market." And I'm like, "I think I should." So this year, I forget how many more weeks it is. On Saturdays, I'm going to be there in the farmer's market next to Grandma June's baked goods and, Dave's, homemade hat racks. Like and Lisa's pottery. Like it's going to be a blast. In the middle, you'll have Blain's hot sauce. Like,
word.
I'm excited.
Hell yeah. I mean, you're getting me going too. I want some. Speaking of self-made products by very fine individuals such as yourself, shout out to the sponsor, Hooks, Rubs, and Spices. They got all kind of savory flavors, smoky sweetness, or daggone mad cow. Got the lemon pepper and daggone that smoky burn. And you can find all this on Etsy.com by looking for Hooks, Rubs, and Spices, or you can go to hooksrubsandspices.etsy.com and get 10% off if you use promo code 3RShow.
I think you sold me.
Yeah. Head on over to Etsy.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
when I started selling the hot sauce, I kind of regret not going with Etsy and using Shopify instead. I think I made a mistake there.
What, do you just do it all by hand, or what's your process?
Yeah, I make it all, bottle it all, label it all, and yeah.
Do it all yourself, huh?
Yeah.
Now, what's the perk with the Etsy or the Shopify? You bring that up or whatnot? I mean,
well, what I'm thinking is with Etsy, like Shopify is more for like, I don't know. It's just it seems like Etsy is more geared towards the homemade, the small batch, the custom, the craftsmanship, stuff like that. Whereas Shopify just seems like your typical place for stores. So I think I might have got a little more love from the Etsy stores is what I'm thinking, but I don't know.
Yeah. I kind of vaguely got familiar with Shopify, cause I started doing my own merchandise myself, it's still through a third party, but I handle more of the design work and, setting the shipping costs and prices and whatnot. So, I mean, I'm more hands-on with it than if I would ever went to like a Redbubble or a freaking, something like that or whatever, and it increases the margin.
T-Public.
Yeah, it increases the margin.
T-Public, you'll get your fucking designs pulled because anyway.
Yeah. And like this, it gives me a greater margin for, profit doing it the way I'm doing it now. But, I got a trial with Shopify, and from what I've seen and used and understand of it, is just pretty much like you centralize all these different shops that you can pull things. Well, in my particular instance, I try to find different things that I could slap my designs on, different, hats, glasses, whatever the case may be. I'm trying to find something different, something unique that I can put my design on. With Shopify, they have, you have your central hub, which is Shopify, and there's like thousands or hundreds of stores that you can choose from that'll give you the thing that you want to put your design on. And instead of going to all those individual places, Shopify consolidates them and it keeps them in this one app for you to do. So like right now, I don't have Shopify because I'm not paying fucking $30 a month for that convenience, which But I go to individual vendors for certain things. So like one place I get all my hats and beanies from. One place I get all my t-shirts from. If I'm doing coasters, I get it from this place. So, I'm going to the individual places to get the things. But with Shopify, they consolidate all that into one place, so I don't have to go to those individual places.
Yeah, for sure. Like and Shopify, I think, is good, especially for somebody who wants to start a merchandising endeavor who just can't afford to set up a fucking screen press in their basement or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, no, like I thought about it too, but I went with the hot sauce, and I mean, I like it. It's nice. It's convenient. It works for me. Like, order comes in, I get the notification on my phone. I set those bottles aside. They inventory track. I buy a shipping label right through the app. Mm-hmm. The only thing I kind of wish, and maybe there's a way I could set this up, but at the end of the month, I get charged my monthly for the pleasure of using Shopify.
Yeah, I hate that.
And and whatever I've shipped, but they've already paid me out all my orders. Mm-hmm. And it's like, if I'm like, why don't you just keep the money that I owe you and do one less transaction? That's the only thing, right?
Yeah. I agree with you. Cause like, I mean, I don't use Shopify, and like I'm saying, I go to the places that I need to get the ship from. So like when I get paid, it goes straight into my account, and then I got to take it out of my account and, pay my fees from what I just got paid. So, when I have a price up there, say cause I sell a hat for $35. So out of that whole $35, it's their cut and my cut that I had to pay to get the thing made and shipped from the manufacturer.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I thought it was Shopify is cool because they got a couple of vendors on there that you can only find using the Shopify app. You just can't go to them directly because they're exclusive to Shopify, and that kind of pissed me off. But it's not pissing me off to the point to where I'm about to pay you motherfucking $30 every month.
Well, you can do the $9 option.
I don't want to do nothing, goddammit. I'm trying to keep the cost minimal as possible.
No, I
didn't know about the $9 option. What's the details on that one?
Well, with that one, you don't have a specific Shopify site, but you could sell shit on Facebook, on Instagram. Like, you can sell it through all the different channels. You could set up your own website and have a buy now button that goes back to it. You're paying for Shopify's shopping cart.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, because what I found was convenient for me, because one of the vendors I use, they only have a few options that allow you to, set up orders and shit. So I'm using the archaic shit. I'm setting up CSV files and shit and manually typing it in and sending them spreadsheets to place orders and shit, because the site that site, unless you use a Shopify or one of these third party apps through them, they don't allow you to do the mock-up process. So I can't see how my shit looks until I have an actual order go in there.
Ah, okay. Yeah. And you want test samples, right?
Yeah. So I want to see at least how the motherfucker look before I motherfucker done paid me money. Now I got to go through all this rigmarole just to see how I look first.
Yeah. Yeah. That sounds like pain in the ass.
Yeah. But I found ways around it or whatever, because, I found another site that has a mock-up generator and they sell the same shirts. Some of the colors may be off, just by a little bit. So I use their mock-up generator, but when I get the order, I go to the other place because it's more affordable.
See, and I'm the nerd when it comes to shit like that. I'm sitting there going like, I don't know. This place has American Apparel, but like the test samples on it, Gildan 50/50. Like, I don't know. Is it going to be the same? Like,
yeah. See, because like the one place that I do the mock-ups on, their printing area on shirts is smaller than the place I actually get the shirts from. So,
okay.
So when you see the sample image, like you go to the website, you see the image, it's probably going to be 2 times bigger than what you're going to get in the mail. So like it looks smaller on the shirt from my website, but when I actually order it, it's going to be bigger when it comes there.
Man, there is a couple of jokes in there. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, I'm a shower, not a grower. I'm a grower, not a shower, or something like that.
Yeah, just because it looks small, don't mean it is small. Like,
you know what I'm saying? Just turn off the lights and feel it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you got small hands, you'll do.
Yeah.
No, actually, the one cool shop I found, or distributor, or whatever you call them, in Shopify. They actually did like the all over print
Oh yeah.
shirts.
Yeah. I haven't done one of those yet, but,
Me either, but I want to, and I don't know what to put on it.
cause I made a WWE replica belt. Instead of the W, I have a R for Rob. And, I put it on an all over print shirt. So the belt actually wraps all the way around the waist of the shirt.
I think I've seen. Did you have pictures of that?
Yeah, I think I did. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I remember that one.
Yeah. I think it's on Instagram, but yeah, I mean, I'm debating on if I want to make that or not. Cause like, I ain't gonna lie, as far as all my merchandise goes, I'm only making stuff for me. That's the shit.
Yeah, exactly.
All the shit you see on there is the shit that I want for me, but I put it up there just in case somebody else might like it.
Yeah. Oh, when I was fucking with Teespring and TeePublic and going back over, like, that was the whole point. I was making myself a shirt and I left it up there. And then I realized I have to post it and buy it right off the bat, because at least with TeePublic, somebody's going to claim it. Sean from FYFC.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we were talking, and I think we were hanging out when it happened, because he came to town once. Anyway, they had a T-shirt with a Nintendo controller on it. It was like some 8-bit design.
Yeah.
A Nintendo controller, and it got claimed by Sega.
Oh.
And TeePublic won't stand up to anybody claiming, because, I mean, welcome to 2019. But that was kind of my moment where I'm like, I got to figure something else out.
Yeah.
And then I never got back into merch. I think it's because at my job, I design shit. Like, that's one of the things I do, takes up a majority of my time.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I come home, I'm like,
I don't want to do this shit.
Yeah, I've scratched the design itch for the day. Like, I don't even like doing thumbnails anymore, you know?
Yeah, that's the thing that I run into, posting things on my website, because like I had to stock the inventory. So I had to come up with the stock images and type the description. And I hate that shit. I hate doing that shit so much. And then some places, like, I got one place where I like to do my mock-ups, because they give you fucking everything. So I put the design on the shirt. I pick all the colors that I want in that shirt. And then they even give me the option to have like a human model to, to fashion the shirt, from their mock-ups. And all I have to do is press generate files, and it'll give me every PNG file or JPEG that I want of that shirt in all the different colors, or without models. And
nice.
it would just download to my motherfucking computer, and all I had to do is post it. And I'm like, why the rest of you motherfuckers don't do that? Other places, I got a damn screenshot the damn mock-up, fucking shrink it down to a feasible size, and then I got to upload it and do all this other bullshit. I was like, why are you doing this to me?
Yeah, no, I feel your pain. I do. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's funny too, because like, I think because I've kind of been on social media like since MySpace, so I kind of don't care about it the way I used to. Mm-hmm. I kind of burnt out on like every now and then I'll go onto my Twitter and I'll throw a tweet out just so I don't get deactivated. I don't know if that's a thing, but it feels like it should be.
I mean, I believe wholeheartedly it should be, because goddamn, there's a motherfucker on Instagram.
Yes.
The bitch name is 3R Show, and they only got 2 goddamn pictures. And I'm like, motherfucker, I'm on this bitch every day, and I want that damn hashtag so bad, and you won't give it to me.
Yeah. Well, both Instagram and Twitter, they both have a Blain, spelled the way I spell it, Blain, in case you're Googling me. No E. There is no E. At Blain, at Blain's World, and a couple other things I thought of. And Twitter and Instagram, both of them, somebody has it. And I'm like, what are you even fucking doing with this? Like, I'm sorry, if I don't post anything in a year, fucking delete my account. Leave me an option to recover, like, as in if I want to like go in and be like, you haven't been here for a year. You have to sign up for a new username if you want to post, but here's all the posts you made. And if you want, we could post those to your new account. But I would understand that, you know, because maybe somebody wants the name White Trash Show, you know? I don't know.
Yeah.
But, and then for a while, all my handles were at Team White Trash. I was so proud of myself. And then Instagram, I changed over. I was trying to do the available and ADHD thing. So I was, you know, story of my life, identity crisis. That was kind of part of the reason I dropped all the personas altogether. But then when I went to change it back to Team White Trash, somebody took it.
Yeah, they're just sitting there waiting on you, buddy.
Yeah.
There's back in the wings, just stalking your shit. Just like, is he off yet? Is he off yet? Is he off yet?
Yeah. And then, yeah, like at Blain made like 2 posts, and Blain's World is like, nobody's using these things. And I mean, I don't really care. I think most of my new social is that guy Blain. I think. I don't know.
I care, damn it. I care to the point to where I'm doing some shit behind the scenes so I can commandeer that shit.
Nice.
That's like,
well, there was one point when I was pretty much ready to retire, quit, and everything, but I kind of knew I needed something to keep going on. And I was really trying to, my last hurrah was going to be the Abandon All Hope podcast. And the goal was to have 0 listeners.
Mm-hmm.
You know, 0 Instagram followers, 0 Twitter, but somebody on Twitter had it. Somebody had abandonallhope.com, and I had .net, but like, you know what I mean? All this stuff. And it was just like, why does everybody have this shit, but nobody fucking uses it?
I met a I went online when I started adopting the 3R show shit, and I went to register the domain 3R show, and the motherfucker has it. There's no page there. I mean, if you go to 3rshow.com, there's nothing there. It's just like a blank slate, and it say, you know, it asks you about the user login shit. And there was an email. So I emailed the motherfucker, and I was like, hey man, how much you trying to give up that domain name for? And he messaged me back. He's like, $500. I was like, fuck you and your couch.
No kidding. Every time I want one of these handles, I keep thinking to myself, I should just like DM them and be like, I'll give you $20, change your name.
That's what I've been doing with this 3R show motherfucker on Instagram. I've been sending him all kind of messages or whatever. I got in contact with people through Instagram. Was like, hey man, mark this account as fucking fraudulent or illegal or some shit, so that Instagram can kick that shit. It don't do nothing. Mm-hmm. They didn't do shit. It's just still sitting there irking me the fuck on.
Son of a bitch.
I'm gonna get their ass though. I got something up my sleeve. And I'll be like, blood owl, watch out now.
Oh,
but damn, you got, yeah.
2 posts. Those are terrible posts.
Yeah, you see them, right?
Yeah, I couldn't resist. We talked about Instagram.com 3R show enough. Following 128, 18 followers, 2 posts.
Son of a...
Trust you instincts. Everything will fall into place if you let it. No period.
Bitches, man. Get on my goddamn nerves. And see, and then, you know what I'm thinking it is? Because I know many people who do the same thing, just thinking about it now. They have Instagram accounts, but they only have Instagram accounts so they can look at other people's accounts.
Or... the other thing I found happened too is like somebody forgot their login, so they started a new account. Like we still live in that day and age where that happens.
Yeah, that's my mom.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't remember my account. I'll just make another one.
Yeah.
I said, just do password recovery. What's that?
Yeah. Mom, it's branding. What's brand? Branding's not important, Diamond. No. I've had this conversation too, and I throw out random words just to fuck with people. Just be like, you have to use the same Instagram and Twitter handle. It's called branding. What do I need to be a brand for? Everybody's a brand.
How do you think they identify the cows out in the field? They brand them. See?
Right?
They all belong to the same person.
Yeah, and I'm from Alberta. We got cows. We should know this shit.
Yes.
Oh, I was going to ask you.
Just do it.
Okay. You were in a movie?
Yes.
I want to hear about that. I'm like, how did this come and go without me noticing?
Well, I mean, it's an independent thing. So, I mean, it's not like premiering in fucking your IMAX or nothing like that. But, I work security. And, I was downtown at one of my posts. And, I mean, I pretty much, besides the actual shirt I wear, I look like a cop for the most part. I got a badge, I got a gun, got a baton, a standard rig. So
yeah, no, I say that when I look at your Instagram all the time. I'm like, that's an off-duty cop right there.
So I
sorry.
Calling me, what you saying, man? You blowing my cover. But
oh, my bad.
But I was out there and I was touring my post and whatnot, and I seen these guys out there taking footage, just with their cameras. They had the cool DJI cameras with the 4K camera on the gimbal and shit, so it stabilized and all that shit. So they walking around filming shit, and me being the person I am, I made it up in my mind to fuck with them. So here I am, this guy got fucking badge, a gun and shit, and I just walk up to him. I kept a serious face, and then I got close. I was like, "Hey," and then he looked at me like, "Oh shit," and I was like, "Man, that's a fly ass camera. Where you get that from?" And then you could just see the tension and all the, just leave him. He's like, "Oh shit. All right. He cool."
Yeah, man.
But but that was my icebreaker. So I was like, we'd start talking about the cameras and stuff. He's like, "Yeah, we do music videos around here in the area, and yada yada yada. We chopping it up and shit." And he gave me one of his business cards, and I gave him one of my podcast cards. And
nice.
He called me up. I don't know, a couple days later, maybe a week or so later. And he was like, "Hey man, I don't know what your schedule like, but we shooting a music video, and we trying to see if you want to play a role." I was like, "All right, cool. What you need me to do?" And he's like, "We need you to play a cop." And I was like, "All right, makes sense. You see me in a uniform with a gun and shit, so yeah, I can see where you're coming from." So I was like, "Yeah, no problem. Give me the address, show me where to be." And I did a music video with him. I played an officer of the law, and I also played an undercover officer in the same video. And that was kind of the start of our relationship, from me just being a dick for a second. And keep up through social media and everything. I repost everything they do. I tout them up here and there whenever they do something. And he hit me up a couple months later, just between time, going back and forth. He's like, "Hey man, we shooting a movie. It's going to be called Brick City. It's going to be here in Houston. And we want to do a full length film." I was like, "Word, that's cool. I mean, if y'all need any help from me, promotion or whatever, I help you out as best as I can." And he was like, "Yeah, we want you to play a role. We want you to be a detective." And then, he was giving me like a synopsis of what my character would be doing. I'd be, running up on this guy, like, just being this asshole pretty much, kind of like that small glimpse that I gave him when I met him the first time, Yeah. And I was like, "Yeah, I could do that. I got the outfits for that. I got a gun. I could be this person that you want me to be." So, they already started filming it, not too long after that, but I never got the call from him. He never told me where to show up or whatever. I mean, he would hit me up every now and then about some other stuff, but it was never about the movie. Then, a little while later, he called me once again. He was like, "Hey man, I need you to be here and here and here. Bring your gun. I want you to play that detective role." I mean, it wasn't to the extent that he was telling me before, but it was pretty much being an extra.
Fucking, that is so, like, I'm saying Canada shit. You're saying Texas shit. Hey, come over. Bring your gun.
Yeah. So, it wasn't like a full on role or whatever. It was just like I was going to be an extra. I needed to fill they needed to fill some space. He thought of me. I was like, "All right, cool. I'm there." So I come up there. I'm the only one with a real gun and shit. So, they filmed the scenes that day. I did my little extra background stuff or whatever. Sat at the table when they was doing the little brief in the movie and whatnot. And there it was. I mean, they recorded it. And then just this past week, April 4th, they premiered it here in a local theater. And they had a premiere party. You know, hundreds of people showed up, which is fucking amazing. Man, I didn't think that many people was going to show up, to be honest. I mean, I know people was going to come and support, but it exceeded my expectations of what this could have been. I mean, it looked like a full on red carpet event. People were dressed up. Parking lots was full from end to end. Goddamn, they had a professional photographer in there doing the red carpet photos and whatnot. I mean, it was great, man. I'm so happy for them dudes. And, they premiered the film. I sat there. I watched it. And what was also cool, not so much me being in there for that small role, but my homeboy, Sir John Lee, he's been a guest on here. He's a musician as well. I submitted his name to be a part of the music soundtrack. And that was one of the first songs in the movie I heard was his song. So I was like, oh, fuck. And then, damn, I'm pulling out the phone. I mean, this is not like Cinemark or, you know, AMC or some shit like that. So I can have my fucking phone out. We in the hood. Damn it. And I'm recording his song playing over the movie and shit. And I'm texting it to him. I was like, dog, they use your shit in the movie. He's like, oh, yeah. And later on, I see me on the screen. And I was like, hey, I know that guy. That's me. And movie over. Credits come up, got my name up there. Detective Phillips was my name, and I was in a fucking movie.
That's fucking cool. Wait. Hold on here. Let's just do the imdb.com. Did you make it for real? No, just kidding.
Oh, no. Why you bullshitting? If you type in B-Rob, Rob, I'm in there. But the way IMDb works is if you don't pay your monthly fee, they don't publish all your shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so because the only reason I got up on there was because they offered like a month trial for free, and I didn't know what would be in the IMDb Pro trial plan. What does that entail? I was intrigued, so I signed up for it. And you get a lot of shit in there. You get casting calls. You get some of the behind the scenes about the movie stuff, about the budgets and whatever, and what they're using for casting. You get agencies, phone numbers and stuff. You get direct access to some people if they put their direct contact information on there. So like, I don't know, I'm just making up a name. Let's just say Holly Berry. You can find all her contact information in there. If she put direct contact for her, that number is in there. But mostly like names like that or whatever, like Holly Berry and other people, they have their casting agency or their talent agent or whatever the fuck. You can contact them to contact her. So being a podcaster, I thought that was fucking cool to have. So I shot many emails and never heard from many people. So but I made a profile. I put my pictures in there.
But at the same time, respect, because you sent a bunch of emails, right? Like my biggest thing in life, I do this all the time. Is like, man, wouldn't it have been cool if well, you don't have to sit there and go, wouldn't it have been cool? Mm-hmm. You sent the emails. I mean, you got nothing, but
yeah, I still did it. And
yeah, exactly, man.
And then that emails is another thing for me. Don't get me started about that bullshit. But through those emails, I mean, I was able to get like Michael Jai White on this show. So I mean, emails work.
That's fucking dope.
It works, but damn, you just got to be patient, you know.
Yeah.
But
well,
yeah, go ahead.
The biggest thing I found, you know, you want to talk about being patient. I have an example. Like every now and then somebody's like, man, like how does YouTube work? How do you make a viral video? How do you do this? Here's what you do. Here's what happens. Some old guy, I forget his name, for 13 years straight, every week he uploaded like a 10, 15-minute video talking about the movies that came out for the week. Yep. He was 72. He'd been doing it for 12 years. He had 131 subscribers. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
PewDiePie, I don't know if you're familiar.
Yes.
When he does his like thing, somebody submitted this guy to PewDiePie's subreddit. PewDiePie in a video said, oh, holy shit, he's been doing this for 12 years, like listed off what he did. He's like, oh, that's pretty cool. By the time he recorded the video, the guy was already up to 40,000 subs.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't, you know, I mean, like you just, Gary Vee always says, you know, like the best way to do it, just keep making cool shit till somebody cool sees it.
Yeah.
And so many people, when they start this, they're like, they get like 6 weeks in and they're like, nobody's fucking listening. I'm done. And it's like, no, it doesn't happen like that. Like, and if you're not doing it for the love, don't fucking do it.
Yeah. I mean,
you need money, go to fucking school. I hear it's real cheap tuition right now.
Yeah, right. But yeah, man, that's what it is. It's just fucking, I've been doing this for 3 years, and day one was just like, what the fuck is this show going to be? I know it's not going to be professional wrestling, although I love professional wrestling, but I listen to many professional wrestling podcasts, and that sounds like a lot of work, doing research, looking up rumors, all this other bullshit, watching 30,000 hours of footage so you can have some shit to talk about wrestling wise. And I was just like, nah, that's not me. And I was just like, I'll just talk about shit and just see what happens. And then I've just been talking about shit to see what happens for 3 years now.
Yeah, for sure. And it's the way to do it too. Cause like you said, like I've done that too, where it's like, man, I'm going to do like a news show, or I'm going to do this or whatever. And,
yeah.
Like, I mean, I tried very hard to become a popular, Call of Duty, commentator back in the day.
Yeah.
And there was two things working against me. I was not that good.
Yeah.
You know, and which at the time you didn't need to be good to garner a following, but I was just sitting there going like, I drink beer. Isn't beer cool? Like, no, just shut up, Blain. Like, but like, that's kind of what happened. And just do it for the love, and one day you'll get recognition, or you won't. Who cares?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you want to be money? I mean, I don't know, man. Jim Carrey said it best. I wish everybody could be rich and famous to realize that you don't want to be rich and famous.
Yeah. But I want to be rich and famous.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I wouldn't turn the opportunity down to be rich and famous.
You're right. Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. For some people, this is a hobby. For me, the whole podcast, vlog, video game, music thing, whatever it is right now, it's an addiction. The hot sauce is a hobby. Yeah. You know, I like doing that. I like it was fun in the beginning. Now I think I found some places to order from, but in the beginning it was even more fun because it's like, Blain, what are you doing Saturday? Well, I got to go around to all the greenhouses, find which ones are selling the best peppers, you know, and see if I can get there early enough to get, you know, 3-4 pounds of jalapenos to make, you know, like it.
Yeah.
Now the local greenhouses have some order forms, so it's a little more streamlined, but which reminds me, I have to order 5 pounds of ghost peppers.
Do they go ooh whenever you cook them?
Yeah, they do. they go ooh when you eat them.
Oh yeah.
Oh, let me tell you, ghost peppers are so hot, right? And they're not the hottest ones out there, but they're the hottest ones available to me, unless I grow my own. Mm-hmm. Which I did grow some last year. I don't know if I'm going to do that again, but anyway, I wore, you know, proper latex gloves. While, you know, kind of cutting the tops off and while dealing with it, I wore gloves the whole time. Mm-hmm. I washed my hands, right? I go to bed. So I've washed my hands a few times. I go to bed. I wake up the next morning. I have a shower. So like soap and shampoo has been all over my hands and rubbed everything in, right? And I get out of the shower the next day. I rub my eye. It starts burning. I'm like, oh, fucking really? Like, how is there still?
No. And then let me tell you, you know how I tell you how anytime I'm in the vicinity of hot shit or whatever, I mean, I break into a sweat.
Yeah.
If I talk, cause like I used to work when I was in the military, I worked at Page Field in Beaufort, South Carolina, which I was on the base at Parris Island, South Carolina. That's the East Coast boot camp for the Marine Corps.
Okay.
And I worked at the Page Field where they had they did the Crucible, which is like the final events for their graduation. They did the rappel tower, the gas chamber, BWT, to where that's like a freaking
what gas chamber?
Oh yeah, I'm getting to that. The gas chamber, BWT and all that, where they do land navigation there, teach you how to use the compass, terrain features, all that bullshit. You know, weapons identification, all kind of stuff. So the gas chamber is pretty much, is how you learn how to properly use and, clear your gas mask. So they bring you in a room, they fill it full of CS tablets, pretty much a high concentrated pepper spray. And, you got to go in there with your gas mask and use your gas mask properly and not get your shit fucked up, you know? So yeah, I had to deal with that. I trained with the people who did that and, you know, kicked the classes and whatnot. And that smell and just the pure jackassery of, you know, Marines in general, what they would do, people that would run the gas chamber for that day, you know, they're in the gas chamber. So their whole uniform or whatever they've been wearing inside there is just full of this CS gas. And they would come in there wherever all the clean people are, and they'd be giving them fives and shit with this shit all over their hands, giving them hugs and all kind of shit, rubbing it on the back of their hands on back of people's necks. And then this shit would damn crystallize and get hot and fucking gas you the fuck out, you know? So I've been around this stuff for so much, and it's kind of happening right now, to where if we even start having this conversation, that like, I guess that shit just like, it feels like it's activating in my skin. I start to itching and burning and shit like I've been there in the chamber. So yeah, I shouldn't even started talking about it. My arms starting to itch. But like, even if I get around some like intense peppers or whatever, like if somebody cooking some real spicy shit, like I start to feel that way. I start to feel that itch and tingle in the back of my throat, and I'm just like, fuck.
Oh yeah. Well, even like when I'm making the sauce, I got to make sure the windows are open, because I'm just doing shit and I'm not realizing, and then all of a sudden my wife will like walk into the kitchen or something, and she just like it just all hits, right? Like in it. And for the most part, my hot sauce, I don't know if it's just me, but like the spice that's in the air when you're making sauce, hotter than the sauce.
Yeah. That's like cutting up onions and shit.
Fucking onions.
I hate them. And then I was like, I'm sitting here crying. She's like, that's what onion's supposed to do. I was like, the onion's purpose on this earth is not to make your ass cry.
Right? It's true though. I mean, but it does.
Yeah. Sorry. But they're delicious.
Well, that's true too.
Mm-hmm. I just came around on onions not too long ago, a couple years back. Cause my father, when I was young, he would like eat onions a lot. He's like, eat some onions. I don't eat that shit. And then I turned into an adult and get man taste buds and shit. I was like, man, onions is pretty good.
Yeah. We use, and I don't know when it started, because we kind of stopped using onions too. And but we would lay on the garlic, right? Like either minced garlic in the jar or like fresh, like slice the fucking, I don't know what they're called, little garlic pods. I can't think anymore. But cloves, that's the fucking
There
word.
you go.
Yeah. But no, and we just, sometimes when people come over, we got to remember, oh shit, okay, not everybody is a fucking garlic fiend like we are.
Mm-hmm.
And so you've got to dial it back a bit. But yeah, no, onions, I don't know, man. Onions, garlic, I'm down.
Oh shit. Speaking of the devil, we talk about the movie, Brick City. They're having a movie release party. I'm sorry. They, just got the, shipment of DVDs and everything, and they're gonna be selling physical copies of the movie here pretty soon. So they're having a, movie release party on April 14th. So that's gonna be cool.
Nice. Oh, I do got one more question.
Yes.
It looks like you got a seat upgrade when you were there.
Oh yeah. Hold on.
Because I enjoyed the video where it's like, look, there's 4 rows behind me, and then on the other side of that wall is parking lot. Like, I appreciated that. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, he's got like an upgrade. I don't know.
Okay, so I talked about it on the last episode, but damn, this trip to WrestleMania, as has all my other trips to WrestleMania, have been by complete chance. You know, the very first one that I went to in Santa Clara, WrestleMania 31, that's when Seth Rollins cashed in.
Yeah.
It was on my birthday, March 29th. And I just had been laying the bombs like I normally do every year that WrestleMania is on my birthday. I just been dropping hits and being, you know, funny. Like, hey, it's on my birthday. This would be a great birthday present. So I guess it got to the right ears. And my mom was like, when you know, older people, they don't know too much about, you know, a lot of things. So she was like, when's that Mania Wrestle thing you was talking about? Yeah, I was like, oh.
Your mom sounds like the most adorable person ever.
Oh, you should hear her try to use her Alexa. That is fucking hilarious.
Yes.
Alexi, play some music, Alexi. So she called me up. She's like, what's that Mania Wrestle thing you're talking about, the wrestling stuff? I was like, WrestleMania. She's like, when is that? I was like, March 29th on my birthday. She's like, if I give you my card information and stuff, you think you can get you some tickets and get yourself out there? I was like, you fucking right, I can. I didn't say that to my mom, but in my head,
naturally.
So she hooked me up. She paid for the plane ticket and all that shit for me to get out there and get back. So that's
pretty dope.
That was my very first WrestleMania on my birthday. I bought my first title belt with permission from Mrs. B. Rob, and that was how that went. So I was like, man, bucket list, I could die tomorrow. I achieved my goal of going to an actual WrestleMania in person. It's fucking great. Doesn't get no better than this. The next year, WrestleMania 32 in Dallas, Texas. I'm living in Missouri, which is probably about a 12 or so hour drive from Dallas. But I have a brother that lives in Dallas, and I was going down there for a job fair anyway, because, WWE and a company called Hired Heroes, who helps veterans transition from military life into civilian life to help them find jobs. So around this time, I was transitioning out of the military, you know, starting to go into the civilian sector and whatnot. So they was hosting the job fair in cooperation with WWE. So I'm looking this up, you know, cause, you know, I'm fantasizing about WrestleMania. Oh, I went last year. I ain't gonna be able to go this year. I was like, damn, Dallas is has that big ass fucking stadium. That would be a fucking awesome WrestleMania to go to. So I'm just looking up shit about WrestleMania, and I was working with the Hired Heroes people because, you know, they was helping me with my resume, and they sent me an email about the WWE event that they was co-hosting. I was like, oh shit, I gotta go to that. Cause I mean, I could get a fucking job out of this. I mean, who knows, you know?
Yeah.
So, I'm not even thinking about going to WrestleMania. I'm just thinking about going to this event. And one of my brothers lived down there, and I was like, I can stay with him for free. It's cool. I already talked to him about it. So I'm putting in leave from work just to make the time to go down there to go do this job fair shit. And then out of the blue, once again, my other brother that lives here in Houston where I live, he called me up. He's like, hey, you went to WrestleMania last year, right? I was like, yeah. He's like, well, how much the tickets was? I was like, well, I did everything last minute, and, you know, I wound up paying, you know, like $300 or something like that, which I think it was actually less than that. But I think altogether for that trip to Santa Clara was $900.
All right.
So, he's like, okay. He's like, if I give you my card information, you think you can find you a ticket? And I was like, what the fuck is going on? In my head, I'm like, what is this? What the fuck? People just want to hand me off card information so I can buy tickets and shit. So that's what he did. He's like, yeah, I want to do that for you. I was like, oh man, I appreciate it. So he gave me his card. I find a ticket, and I'm just like, what's my limit here? You know, cause I mean, truth be told, I love my brother to death. You know, he's my fucking brother, but like, he's way older than me, but you know, I grew up with him, but it was more like he was kind of like a father figure, because he has a son that is a day older than me, and his son is my nephew. You know, so
yeah, and you're basically the same age. Yeah.
So that's the kind of the relationship, you know, or whatever. And you know, he was real tough on me as a kid or whatever, and it was what it was. So for him to do something like this for me, just out of the blue, fucking shocked the fuck out of me. I mean, I was very fucking, I don't know how I felt about it. I just like, wow, that's fucking amazing. So he's like, yeah, just buy whatever you want. I was like, whatever the fuck I want. So just to test the water, found a $500 something ticket on the floor of fucking Dallas Cowboys Stadium. He's like, all right, yeah, that's cool. What?
Damn.
Okay. So I got that shit. And then all I had to do was travel down to Dallas, which I was already doing anyway. And I had a place to stay with my other brother. So that's how that Dallas trip happened. And then I felt bad about that trip as well because I went to the High Heroes event and they had WWE superstars there. And I took a picture with Damian Sandow and Eva Marie and one of the Funkadactyls, which was Cameron. And not too long after I took them pictures with them and that event was over, they got fired. So I blame that on them.
Ouch. Yeah, I would too. Man, I miss Sandow. Like
he was good.
Not to derail the story, but like that man could take any gimmick and get it over. Like the pink shorts, the fucking, like he got Mizdow over.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. Let's keep telling us. Yeah. Sorry.
So
I derailed.
Yeah. So I went to that. It was fucking amazing. Shane McMahon jumped off the cage through the table right in front of me, basically. And, next year they went to Orlando. I didn't get to go to that one. Nobody came from out of the rafters and was like, want me to buy you a ticket? And I was like,
yeah. Here's my credit card info.
So that didn't happen.
By the way, if anybody is handing out credit card info.
Yes, please. Send it to, what's your Instagram?
That guy Blain.
There you go. That guy Blain on Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah.
But, so I didn't go to the one in Orlando. No problem. I had two back-to-back and it was two awesome events because Seth Rollins had that amazing cash in, the crazy RKO spot that they did together early in the night too. Then Dallas.
Oh, yeah.
Dallas was, they introduced a new women's title and damn Stone Cold came back and all that shit. So I was there for those two events and I was like, man, bucket list times two. It doesn't matter if I didn't go to Orlando. New Orleans come up. I'm 5 hours away. I was like, I gotta go to this motherfucker. And it was late in the game and some shit had happened here financially in the household and it wasn't looking too good. But somebody, a friend of a friend, said that they knew somebody that was selling a ticket and it was like, I couldn't pass this price up. And I got that ticket from them. I knew somebody here in Houston that was going out there as well. We carpooled together, split the costs. So that was a cost effective trip. That's how I wound up in New Orleans. This year, my son, the previous year when I came back from New Orleans, my son was like, I want to go to WrestleMania. So I was making it a thing to where this year, this one I just went to, this is going to be me and the boy going to go. So I was putting money away. Then the house almost burnt down. So,
that'll slow things down.
Yeah. So I had to take care of all that shit. So, money was scarce and whatnot. So I was like, we ain't gonna be able to go to WrestleMania. Then a friend of mine, Nick Anicelli, I do the Wrestling is Trash show with him. And,
okay.
I served with him when I was in Missouri. He was at my last duty station. That's how we came to know each other and whatnot. He lives up in Rhode Island, which I think is like 4 or 5 hours away from the event. And he said, hey man, I'm going. I may have an extra ticket because I'm not sure if, whoever's coming with me is going to go. And, he was like, if you can get here, you can have the ticket or, I'll sell it to you for a good price. I was like, bet. So out of curiosity, cause this is crunch time. This is like last minute shit. So, it's like 3 weeks out from the actual event. So, I'm just out of curiosity. I'm looking up plane tickets and I found a flight from Houston to New Jersey and back for $180.
Nice.
And I was like, man, I can't pass this up. This is a good fucking deal. So I bought the tickets, the plane tickets, not even having a WrestleMania ticket. I just bought the plane tickets because I was like, it ain't gonna get no better than that. He hit me up. His friend was still coming. But my wife, she'd been out of work for, a couple months and everything. I've been handling all the bills and everything. She got a job not too long ago. And she was like, I want to get you a WrestleMania ticket for your birthday. And this was like, I didn't tell her I bought the plane ticket and all this other shit. I told her the situation with my friend, though. Like, he had a ticket, and if I can get there, blah, 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 blah. I told her that, but I didn't tell her I bought the plane ticket. So when she came to me, she's like, I want to get you a ticket to WrestleMania. Here's the money for it. And I was like, I'm so happy. And I've already done my due diligence, and I've already bought a plane ticket. And she was kind of upset by that because she wanted to, because I've been doing so much these past couple months. She wanted to buy the whole thing for me. She wanted to buy the plane ticket. She wanted to buy the ticket to the show. So she was kind of upset that I went and bought plane tickets already. But I was like, hey, that's less money you have to spend. I've already taken care of this portion. So she bought me the show ticket. I found a rental car for fucking cheap. And all in all, I think I spent less than $500 on that trip.
Nice.
So now, being that it was so clutch, the ticket that I bought, nosebleeds, they're labeled, there's the floor, there's the 100 section, the 200 section, the very tip top is the 300 section. That's what I bought. I bought a $75 ticket because it was through a third party vendor of Ticketmaster. A $75 ticket I bought for $177. So
ouch.
So it's whatever. I wanted to go.
It is what it is. Like
it was last minute.
That's the way tickets work now, right?
Yeah. It was last minute. So I it is what it is. And then I didn't pay for it. So fuck it.
Yeah.
So nice. My ticket is in the tippy to top of the damn stadium. I get down there to New Jersey or whatever. We meet up. I'm literally, once I hit the ground, I'm in the rental car and I'm running around doing all the things. I had another former service member that I used to serve with that lived there. And, as soon as I got off the plane, I got the rental car. I went meet him. We went and had breakfast and went to the mall and hung out. Then through posts from Facebook, another guy that I used to serve with texted me and told me that another guy that we deployed with to Iraq lived there. And I called him up and he came out with his wife and we met and we hung out. And then after we all hung out that day, throwing axes and all kind of crazy shit. There's a podcast. I
saw the hatchet video.
Yeah. I got some more. I just haven't posted all this shit. But, there's a podcast that I fucking adore called Ice and the Face. And it's, Rick and Sarah. They live out there in New Jersey. So when I'm finished hanging around with my friends, I drove to their house. We drank Fireball and ate kebabs and shit and we podcasted together. And that was fucking amazing. And then after that, I drove back into the city. I met up with my friend at his hotel where he allowed me to stay. There was me and Wussy Baby Pantses and wanted to go to sleep. And I was all hopped up on Mountain Dew and Fireball and shit. I said, I never been on this side of the earth before, let alone the United States. I want to go see New York. So I found a meetup from another podcast that I enjoy, RBR Weekly Wrestling Talk. And they was doing a meetup in New York, down the street from Times Square. So I got in an Uber. I went to downtown, whatever, and I hung with them for a while. And then I walked my happy ass 8 blocks down to Times Square and took pictures and shit. I stood by the red steps that was in the Amazing Spider-Man, and Spider-Man wasn't there, or Jamie Foxx. And I was in New York. I had a slice of New York style pizza. I seen a rat crawl into a sewer hole. It was fucking crazy.
That is like so fucking New York. Yeah. That's awesome.
So next day, Sunday, morning of, we get breakfast. We go to the show. Like I told you, the timeline. The doors were supposed to open up at 3:30, so everybody can be in the stadium for 5 o'clock when the show started proper. We was in the parking lot at 2 o'clock, slept until 2:30 something, got out, got in line, was in by 4 o'clock. I went to the very top of this goddamn stadium, very high, very cold. And you seen the video. I was 4 rows from the fucking top of the damn building.
Yeah.
And I was sitting up there. I was eating my overpriced hot dog and drinking my overpriced drink. And the show hadn't started yet. It was still like 4 something. Called my buddy down there in the hundreds. I was like, hey man, what y'all doing down there? Is it just everything cool? And I'm sending him pictures of my seats and shit. I was like, man, I can see everything, but I mean, it's not really that bad, but it's just way up there. If you stood up in the wind blew, I probably fell down them goddamn steps. So he was like, hey man, why don't you just come down here and sit with us until the show starts? There's nobody sitting down here in our section right now. And I was like, all right, cool. I didn't want to at first because like I've been to events because, you know, when you come into the section, they got the security personnel there want to check your ticket and shit, right?
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the one in my section where I was up in the nosebleeds and they wasn't checking no tickets. So I was like, fuck it. Where y'all sitting at? He's like, section 128. All right. I go down there and I'm sitting with him. And we just, you know, chilling, and, you know, they had plenty of seats open around. I'm just sitting in the seats or whatever. And as people would filter in to claim their seats, I would just move over to the next seat. You know, no big deal. Yeah. And here it come, 5 o'clock, the pre-show officially starting. And, you know, the seats are starting to fill up. And there was still a seat open next to my friends. So I just sat there. Pre-show start. First match go by. Second match go by. You know, seats are still filling up around us, but the one I'm in, nobody come and claim. The show starts proper. Yolanda Adams is singing America the Beautiful. Brock Lesnar just got hit in the ding ding and all this other shit. No, we are officially into WrestleMania. Nobody has claimed to claim this seat. Couple more matches go by. I mean, halfway through the show, nobody has come to claim this seat. So fuck it. I mean, I sat there the whole show and nobody came to claim that seat. So what are the fucking odds that on a whim I will go to this WrestleMania? You heard the circumstances surrounding me getting there. Yeah. And for that one seat next to the people I came to meet would be open the whole fucking show for me to sit in. That's fucking crazy, man.
Oh, it's so cool. Like just kind of going back to what I was saying earlier. It's just like take an opportunity, seize it, go for it, get this. Instead of sitting at home watching and go like, oh man, it'd be so cool to go. Like, you know, that's cool. Going back, the one thing you mentioned that it's happened to me. I've been fortunate enough it's happened to me a couple of times, but like there is something so cool about meeting somebody you've talked with, you know, once, a handful of times, whatever. But, you know, like if you record a podcast with somebody, you kind of know them because, you know, I mean, mine tend to run a bit long, but, you know, when there's other people. Yeah. But meeting somebody in person and just like sitting down or giving them a hug or drinking a beer with them, like I've been fortunate enough to do it a couple times, and I really hope that I can find a way. I wanted to do the Johnny White Trash World Tour, I called it, and I still have that idea in my head. No. Just like the podcast, just do the world tour, just go see as many people as you can, record live, or well, as in person, face to face. Yeah, in person. Like that's just so cool.
Dog, I mean, you don't understand, man. Like they were on my show 2 years previous to our meeting, and they were just like, they was telling me about an idea about they wanted to rent an RV and just go state to state or whatever, or just find podcasters that they know or podcasters or whatever area that they travel to and do shows with them. And that was the idea that we talked about 2 years ago. And for us to be in the same room, having that conversation and being in each other's presence after that, it's just like, I'm fucking hooked, man. It's just like, I want to do more of that shit. I want to go back and do it again. And just cause like, truth be told, I was excited to go to WrestleMania. I love fucking wrestling. I mean, I was cool to see my friend that let me stay with him, you know, who kind of spearheaded this whole me getting up there. But I shit you not, man. I wanted to stay there with them and just podcast all fucking night and just never leave. But I did.
Yeah, no, man. It's just kind of, every now and then I sit back just kind of in pure awe. And maybe it's because it's legal up here now and I think differently on a regular basis. But it's just so cool. Like most of my friends, like my best friends that I'm closest with, I've got like, you know, a couple of old friends that I've had for a long time in town. And then the rest of my friends I've never met in real life. Mm-hmm. And if I would have said that 10 years ago, I would have felt like a complete fucking loser. But now it's like this, my life is richer for being able to find, you know?
Yeah.
And then those moments when you get to like there was a trip to Vegas where a few different podcasters I knew went, fuck, I wish I could have went. Mm-hmm. But No, man, it's cool. I love that shit.
Yeah. And just from that whole thing, man, it's just like it spawned a whole another thing inside of me to where I'm just trying to do something different. I mean, I made a post about it today while I was in Walmart, about, shit with this show is going to be changing. I mean, it's not going to be heir apparent right off the bat. It's not going to be a visible change right away, but I'm doing things behind the scenes right now that I'm not really to disclose yet, but it's going to allow me to hopefully in the future do more of that shit that we were just talking about, going to different places and meeting people and, just making content. That's kind of what I'm driving toward right now.
Oh, for sure. That's kind of what I want to do too. I've learned I'm not I'm not like Harley Morenstein where it's like, hey, let's just take the fucking camera everywhere. I'm not that, but it's like, yeah. Hey, you want to find, this is going to sound bad, but I'm going to say it anyway. Hey, you want to find a room where we could sit and talk?
Yeah. And it's like, there's plenty of local podcasters here, but I mean, we all kind of feel leery about the same thing. I mean, not all of us, but I'm not going to even put that on some of them, but I just kind of get that vibe. But like, I feel kind of weird inviting, people to my house, But like if we had a common ground to meet up and hang out and shit, I mean, that's cool. But like not right now. Well,
the thing is like both the podcasters have met in real life. Same thing. Like they came over to my house and all of this, and it was cool. But like the 2 or 3 hours leading up to, okay, they're on their way. They're actually coming. They're actually showing up at my house. What if they're actually meth heads? Your brain just starts inventing weird shit that know isn't true. And it's like, what the fuck am I doing? This is a terrible idea. I'm so stupid. Yeah. But it turned out good both times. Both times they were Canadian podcasters. I'm not saying nothing. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but there's always that fear of the unknown. I don't know. Rick and Sarah could have just been some crazy motherfuckers and they chopped me up and fed me to all their cats.
For sure. Well, I mean, my first internet friend I made, I guess we did record a podcast, but my first internet friend, we met because we were in a chat group about another podcast we listened to, right?
Yeah.
And he came through town, and that meeting I do not think went well. Mm-hmm. He was not what I was expecting at all.
And I've met people like that. You're right, because I mean they like vibrant and all bubbly and everything on the computer and everything, but you get in the same room with them, they're like,
Yeah. It's just kind of like I know everybody has different amounts of money, but I did not realize you planned on putting a tent in my backyard.
Yeah.
When I had to work that night, because I was working the job I was at, I was working till 1 a.m. and I'm like, so you just want to go sleep in a tent in the backyard with my wife and child inside? I don't know if we know each other that well because we've never met in real life. Like, and I mean, I can't even put it all on the guy I met. In fact, I don't think I put any of it on there. He was just a different spirit and I didn't understand it. And I was at a more judgy place of my life. Yeah, if I made fun of everybody, I was cool.
Yeah, and then still, I mean, you're not wrong in like he's basically a stranger. I mean, you know him through a few interactions, but that's your fucking wife and kid in the house, and he just awkwardly planted in the backyard. I wouldn't feel comfortable with that shit either.
Yeah, no, I mean, like there's 1,001 urban legends that start with don't let people you meet off the internet in your house. I've done it. It's good. But
yeah.
I mean, that being said, like, I'm blanking on their name. Neil and Annalise, anyway, their show. When every now and then when they're like, yeah, we're going to Jamaica, I mean, if you want to come, this is the resort we're going to, maybe we'll do a pod. And I'm just like, that sounds like so much fun.
And so expensive.
Oh yeah. No, I try to go to Mexico when I can, but
you actually go there?
Yeah, I've been there a few times. But again, I also had a job that paid quite well, but sucked my soul out.
Yeah.
So I kept spending money on things thinking that the things would cheer me up. It was just leaving the job that cheered me up.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel it. But speaking of leaving things, I hate to do it to you, man, but we got to make that move, homeboy.
No, I mean, I think we had a good run.
Yeah, I think so. About 2 hours and something right now.
Yeah, no, that's still short. We're good.
Yeah, it really is. I can keep going, but I have to get up really early. So I want to wind this down. So, let everybody know where they can find you on social media, what you got going on, how they can support your cause, or just, be in the room for when you're doing your things.
Well, okay. So, the SoundCloud, Instagram, Facebook, it's all that guy Blain. There's a YouTube channel too, but I don't have a link for that yet. Blain, Blain. It's how to find me, except for Twitter. I'm still at White Trash Show because I didn't feel like changing that one.
Yeah.
If you feel like doing something that, puts money in my pocket and hot sauce in your belly, blainsworld.store. And then I got to say, I think after this, I've caught the podcast bug. I'm gonna make sure that I start doing this again on a regular basis. So why don't you check out anchor.fm/Blain. And there are going to be new episodes soon.
And I tell you what, to kind of feed your bug or whatever, I'm formally inviting you over to Wrestling is Trash so we can talk specifically about wrestling.
I'm down.
All right, so we'll hook that up.
I'm also formally inviting you to be on an episode of Blain.
Okay, wow.
Because I don't have a title for it yet. It's literally just called Blain.
Well, I'll formally be on your Blain.
Nice.
Yeah, but man, I appreciate your time, chatting it up with me and whatnot. And I'll see you on the Blain. And
yeah,
I'll see you on Wrestling is Trash as well.
That's how I'm going to end it now, too. Like, anytime I record an episode, it's like, all right, we'll see you next time on the Blain.
Oh, I like it. You're welcome. That'll be $5.
Yeah.
Or I'll take
only every time I say it.
And either that or I'll take a bottle of one of your finest hot sauces so I can get to my wife. Because if I crack the top on it, I'm gonna start sweating and shit.
I'll make sure that I re-up on the ghost pepper sauce.
For sure.
For sure.
All right. And that was Mr. Blain, Mr. Johnny White Trash himself, entrepreneur, music composer extraordinaire, and a pretty cool dude from what I got from this chat right here. This is another one of those people that we are mutual to each other online. We follow each other on Instagram and everything. I seen this post and whatnot. And, pretty much just how I detailed here in the interview is just like, I seen him posting, and then I seen less and less. And then I seen something new of him as far as his business goes, his hot sauce joints. So, if you are so inclined to support a entrepreneur, independent market person and whatnot, just like Hooks, Rubs, and Spices. If you go to Etsy.com and search Hooks, Rubs, and Spices, you can get 10% off your order by using promo code 3RShow. And hopefully I can get with Mr. Blain and he can sponsor the Random Rounds with Rob, and I can give you some promo codes for his stuff and get you some discounts. So it'd be a mutual thing. I can get some fiery hot sauces for Mrs. B Rob if y'all go ahead and use my promo code 3RShow over on his website. I'm just plugging myself into places and whatnot, but yeah, just check him out on Instagram. All his contact information and his social media will be in the show description, which, as with every guest, is in the show description. Do y'all even read the show description? Because I try to put just the beats, because you'll get the wealth of information from listening to the show. So when I put my show info in the notes in the show description and whatnot, it's pretty much Cliff's Notes, their contact information, and just all the different ways that you can support the show, which I will be getting into right now. You can follow me on Twitter at itsbrob. That's ITSBROB. If you want to talk professional wrestling and any other general shenanigans, that's the place you do it. Also, this show that you're listening to right now has his own Twitter account, which you can follow on Twitter at 3RShow. And you can go to randomrobcast.com to where you can find many different ways that you can support this show by buying merchandise, which I am very grateful for everyone who has purchased a piece of merchandise from randomrobcast.com. Today, as I record, April 14th, I'm putting timestamps on my shit. Y'all know I hate that. But tonight at midnight or 11:59, will be the end of the 20% off sale on the website. So this will be out in enough time for you to hear me say this. So tonight, right before midnight, 11:59, you can still get 20% off your orders on all the things, hats, t-shirts, whatever have you. And also you use my Amazon links. You click on that, take it to Amazon, you buy things like you normally do. You don't pay extra. I get a little kickback. You could be a Patreon. There's links on randomrobcast.com to where you can become a Patreon, where you can get behind the scenes footage of the recordings and whatnot. You get the full length episode unedited. You get some items and whatnot. I mean, it's all detailed there on Patreon. Just search for 3R Show on Patreon. And if you don't want to support monetarily every month, for as little as $1 and whatnot, I can understand that. But if you just dig in the show and you just want to throw some cash this way and support, you can do so by PayPal or Cash App. On Cash App is $3R Show. On PayPal is 3R Show. So, I mean, those are the one-time whammo bammo. Here's some money. Good looking out. I would appreciate that. But, it's not all about the money. You don't have to buy a piece of merchandise. You don't have to support monetarily every month. You don't have to donate anything via PayPal or Cash App or anything like that. You don't have to use the Amazon links. The most important thing that you can do for this show and any podcast that you are digging is what you're doing right now, is listening. But if you want to go a step further, for free, write 5-star reviews. If you have anything below a 5-star, give that constructive criticism so we can improve our show and hone our craft, and or ultimately ignore you. Either or, just, that's for free. You can do that for free. You can get ignored for free. But share, like, retweet, subscribe to our things, support the show that way for free. And that goes a long way, because you can buy 100 shirts, which I sincerely hope you would, if you had the inclination to do such a thing. I would not stop you from doing that. You can buy 100 shirts. I would get that money. That money will ultimately go back into the show, but eventually over time that would go away. Those likes and reviews and shares, I mean, that's there. People can go and research it and see it and be like, oh, that's cool. I might want to listen to the show. You buy a shirt, somebody might ask where you get that shirt from. You tell them the website, and it's a lot of things going on there. But those likes, those retweets, those shares, those reviews go a long way. Some other notes. I host a wrestling podcast, by the way, called Wrestling is Trash. We just came back from WrestleMania not this weekend as we speak, but the past weekend. Great experience. I'm gonna have some video footage that'll be exclusive to the Wrestling is Trash Instagram and Facebook page. So there's gonna be some 360 videos that are shot with my camera, some photos, a little bit of audio and whatnot. So be looking out for that on Wrestling is Trash on Twitter, Wrestling is Trash on Facebook, Wrestling is Trash on Instagram. So look out for all that stuff. May 10th through May 12th, Comic Palooza, Texas' biggest pop culture and comic book convention is coming down to the George R. Brown Center, or whatever it is. I say center. Is it center? I'm not sure. I'm not from here, so I don't know the correct terminology. But I'll be there, regardless of whatever the name of the building is, representing the Random Rounds with Rob and Wrestling is Trash for Comic Palooza. I'll be there on the panel. I'll be there doing a show on the floor live. I'll be there giving away a couple of pieces of merch, stickers, buttons, pins, and whatnot. I'm not selling anything. You can do all that stuff from randomrobcast.com/merch. But I'll be there interviewing, doing the panel, enjoying the experience. If you want to come meet me down there, go to comicpalooza.com and get you some passes and whatnot. Or maybe you can meet me just in the parking lot. We might be able to work something out. But that's not guaranteed. The only guaranteed way you can get into Comic Palooza if you go to comicpalooza.com and get you some passes and whatnot. So yeah, support your boy. You know, spread the word. I mean, we're gonna have, as we record, Game of Thrones coming back tonight, final season. Amelia freaking Clark is gonna be there, and Miss Emmanuel, I forget her name, Natalie, I think. She's gonna be there representing the Game of Thrones. They're gonna have your boy from The Flash gonna be there. You know, I'm bad with names, so don't hold that against me. I know who people are, Khaleesi and all them, you know, Flash, and I know who they are, but I'm not good with names. I know faces. So, I mean, that's not a slight on anybody's career or whatnot. I have a bad fucking memory. That's how I record audio, because I could play it back and be like, oh, I did say that shit, you know, or I was completely wrong. So, I mean, that's what I'm doing. I'm holding myself accountable. But Comic Palooza, May 10th through May 12th. I've been tracking this thing for the past 3 years since I've been living in Houston. I have failed to get on these past 2 years. This is the final year that I've tried, and I've succeeded, and I've been selected or whatnot. Now, I don't mean final as in I ain't doing this shit no more after this. If I'm here, if I'm able, I'm doing it every year. So yeah, Comic Palooza. Also, something else is coming up. Do you know what it is? It's coming pretty soon. Avengers Endgame. Nothing special about that. It's just Avengers Endgame. I want to go see that shit. But yeah, that's about it. All in all, randomrobcast.com, comicpalooza.com, and that's all. I'll see you next time. Bye.